Let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. It should be fairly short and sweet. We've asked Councilman to do some prayer, and then we'll recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Father, I'm grateful today in this council meeting. Pray that the Spirit will guide and direct our thoughts and actions, and those who have come to participate will be able to share their feelings. We may do our best to serve the best interests of our community. This we pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I missed the roll call, but we do have a full quorum tonight, so appreciate all the council members being with us. Minutes from the last meeting, do we need to really approve those?
No,
We'll
I
just
thought I
wait
would
till-
have. I do not, so we can just wait until next meeting.
Yeah,
That'd
it'd
be
be
great.
better at the next meeting
Can I
anyway. So.
make a request while I'm reading?
Sure.
Can everyone should speak into their mics? I listened to the last recording and the audio was terrible for those who weren't.
Even, I feel like I'm eating this thing all the time.
Well, they're meant to be really close, unfortunately. But thank you.
You can't even hear me. I'm pretty loud as it
Those
is.
who were speaking into their mics, I could hear. Those who were not, it was.
I don't know if I was speaking.
Basically, you and I, Don, I think we're good.
That's probably true.
You're the only one to speak anyway, so.
Oh, wait a minute. Public comment period. Do we have anybody here that would like to make public comment? Just formality tonight, like I said, it's kind of a quick meeting. We don't have any committee appointments or recognitions that I know of, Mr. Page. So we'll move on to the public hearing. And this is to hear input from the public regarding the city's excise tax, road revenue bond, and the aggregate principal amount of not to exceed $400,000 for road improvements and related improvements. This is something that we've already talked about as a council. We did have a public hearing on this before. We missed just a couple of technicalities, and so I think that's why it's coming back, right? Just so that we make sure 100% that it's done correctly. Any comment in addition to that from the council? Okay, we have a motion to move into a public hearing. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we consider ourselves in the public hearing. Are there any here in the public that would like to comment in regards to that 400,000 revenue bond for this State Street project? No? Okay, seeing no public comment, would entertain a motion to go back into regular session. So moved.
Second.
Second by Councilman Busenbark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we're consider ourselves back into regular session. We'll invite you, remind me your name.
Eric Johnson.
Eric Johnson, who is our bond attorney.
So let me kind of coach you through this next one. We also want to do a public hearing for your municipal building authority. So if you want to recess or adjourn, whichever you want to call it, from council meeting and to convene as.
Can we get a motion to convene as, no, yeah, convene as the city council and then to,
Convene as the municipal.
Adjourn as a city
There
council
you go.
and convene as, I move that we adjourn as a council and convene as the Roosevelt City Municipal Building Authority. Is that correct?
We have a second.
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Bear. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we'll consider ourselves as.
You notice I didn't pop up with a road bond. That's pretty basic. It's your road tax that you use to do a road project. You get to understand. The building authority is a little bit different. And so let me walk you through with how it works because it gets a little complicated. Okay? And you'll understand it best when I explain to you how this ever got started. So back in the 1980s, there was someone who filed a lawsuit against the Iron County Jail in Iron County, Utah, saying it was not fit for prison inmates to have to be in that jail. And a judge agreed with it. And the judge ordered Iron County to build a new jail. Well, a jail is not typically a revenue producing asset. So where would they get the money for their new jail? Well, they needed to call a bond election. And in the state of Utah, from the very beginning, we never trusted politicians. We're always afraid they were going to see us as unnecessary and like that. And so the standard way, before you can incur that, so Iron County calls the election and it fails. And the commissioners kind of scratch their heads and they say, well, wait a second, let's try this again. You don't understand, isn't it? We want to build a new jail, it's that we have to build a new jail. And so would you please authorize us to issue these general obligation bonds so we can build a new jail? And the people of Iron County said, we understand. What part? No, did you misunderstand? So it was at that point that the Utah State Legislature adopted the Building Authority Act. And the way the Building Authority Act works is a building authority is a nonprofit corporation. Okay? The board of the building authority is the city council. Okay? And the building authority can only do what the city council authorizes it to do. So you'll notice that in addition to a public hearing, you also have two resolutions to consider, one for the city and one for the building authority. Okay? And what happens is your building authority is going to borrow the money, and then it will it'll borrow the money, and then it will build the improvements, and then it will lease those improvements to the city. You say, well, what's the amount of that lease? Well, the exact amount owing on the debt. Okay? To the penny. Right? And so it's by doing that, so Iron County, that's what the law said. So Iron County said, okay, we'll do that. And it was immediately challenging. Okay. And fortunately, these were very favorable facts because a similar situation arose in Idaho. And Idaho Supreme Court said, holy cow, what are you trying to circumvent the Idaho Constitution? No way. Okay. But here in Utah, Justice Zimmerman, writing for the court, he said, you know, our county, as every county in the state, is obligated to have a county jail. By statute, they are required by the legislature to have a county jail. So they're just some public projects and public improvements that, guess what, the public has never been involved in. And the jail is one of them. And so, while we understand the arguments that you're just trying to get around constitutional prohibition, or I should say the constitutional requirement for election here, they said, we have to give our public bodies the ability to do their jobs. And for our county, part of the job is having a county jail that judges don't think is just inhumane to house prisoners. Okay. And so they said, we think it's okay. They said, but there's this special provision in the law that we're sure makes it okay, and this is it. The lease for the improvements between what we'll hear will be the city and the building authority. Okay. Instead of being for a period of 30 years, instead, it's going to be a series of one-year leases for 30 years. And in theory, each year, the city council could decide to walk away and hand over those improvements to the lender. In this case, you wouldn't want to do because you're getting grant and everything else, you lose a lot of equity. But in theory, you can do that. And so the Supreme Court said, because of that possibility, that you're not bound for the whole 30 years, you're just only 1 year at a time. Also, in theory, you renew that lease every year, except the lease is written this way. It says, well, unless someone puts the kibosh on it, it's automatic. Okay, so you don't actually have to take action each and every year. By budgeting the money to make the lease payment, that is the renewal approval. Okay. So that explains how it works and why it works that way. And so really what it is it's, you know, it's just, you got your two pockets and you're just kind of moving money from one pocket to the next. It's the city the whole time, but it's the way that is required in the Utah Constitution for this to be done. Questions? Okay, that is more about law and law than the other thing that the protection that is there. We still don't trust politicians, and for that reason, even though they don't require an election, they do say you have to. So first of all, your building authority is going to hold a public hearing, and after the public hearing, then you can decide whether you're going to approve the bonds, and both the city and.
So do we go, so we approve, if we hold the public hearing, we approve the bond as the building authority, then do we reconvene as the city council and then approve the bond as the city council?
Yeah.
Just so we get the process.
And so the first thing you're going to do is, building authority.
Okay.
I move we go into public hearing to discuss the bonds for the road improvements.
No, this is the sports complex.
Yeah, so this is a resolution of the city council of Roosevelt City, Utah, authorizing an annually
Oh, for the, okay.
renewable lease agreement. between
Sorry, for the sports complex. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll consider ourselves in a public hearing. Are there any here that would like to comment on this resolution? And I think it's fair, just for the record, it is authorizing the authority, the building authority, 3.22 million lease revenue bonds, Series 2023, for the acquisition and construction of a new fourplex sports complex and related improvements, authorizing a master resolution, ground lease, security documents, and other documents required.
Mayor, I think you're reading off of 8B. If you look down at 11, that's what the public hearing is. And it's actually, the public hearing is for $4,300,000.
Oh, there we go.
Your lender, the Community Impact Board, always asks us to put in about 25% extra just in case bids come in high, so you don't have to start the process.
Great. So the authority's lease revenue bond in the aggregate principal amount of not to exceed 4.3 million for a new sports complex and related improvements. So that's what we're talking about.
Just a quick clarification, where it says the authority authorizing resolution is the 3.22.
Right, that's the amount of loan that was on.
That's the difference. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, being in a public hearing now and understanding what kind of money we're talking, are there any from the public that would like to comment in relation to this project? Seeing none, would entertain a motion
So do we need to go back?
Yeah, close the public hearing,
to go back
and as a
to
building authority, then you consider it.
We're still in building authority, right? Okay, so I move we go out of public hearing back to building authority.
motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
And one last coaching there,
yes.
on a bonding matter here, it
Roll
will be a
call.
roll call.
When we approve the resolution though, right?
Yes, when you approve the resolution, both at the city and.
Okay. So now that we're back in regular session.
No, we're in the building.
Our
Buildings.
regular session of the building authority. But, as the building authority, do we have a motion to approve?
Do we need to read the resolution?
I would just say move to approve as explained. And the amount.
I move we approve as explained in the amount, and that's much easier.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, Councilman Rosenbark,
Aye.
Councilman White.
Aye.
Councilman Baird,
Aye.
Councilman Power,
Aye.
and Councilman Allen.
Aye.
Okay. That is unanimous. Thank you, gentlemen. Now we entertain a motion to move from building authority and reconvene as the city council.
So moved.
We have a motion to do that. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman, which one, Allen or? Let's go Allen. Let's give him a chance. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now do we have a motion to move into a public hearing as the City of Roosevelt City Council?
I move we could go into public hearing as Roosevelt City Council.
Well, at the council, you don't need to hold a public hearing.
No, no,
No, you can just go straight to approving the resolution.
the resolution.
Okay.
Okay.
So I move to go into adjourn from the municipality, whatever
We already did that.
did we?
Yeah, you adjourn from the building authority, you're now as the city council.
Okay, so we don't
Now
need a motion.
consider resolution.
Okay. I move we pass the resolution as explained. Is that what you need?
Yes, the amount of $3,220,000.
In the amount of $3,220,000. $3,220,000.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Cloward. Councilman Rosenbark? How do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman White? Councilman Baird?
Aye.
Councilman Cloward?
Aye.
And Councilman Allen?
I'm sure glad he's here.
Motion is unanimous. Is unanimous. All right.
And I know you have the public hearing on the, did they approve the road bonds already?
No.
Okay.
Skip over that.
Okay.
You approve that as well?
So let's go ahead and move to that agenda item, which is the approval of the road bonds in the amount of, can we get the amount again? Can you scroll up? Please?
9A.
And that is $284,000. Is there one that would like to make a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Allen. Councilman Rosenbark, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Baird? Councilman Cloward?
Aye.
And Councilman Allen?
Aye.
Vote is unanimous. That passes as well. I don't believe we have any other agenda items scheduled for tonight. Can you scroll back?
Did we do everything correctly? We're good?
Yes.
Okay, hold it.
We don't have any discussion items. I did see some purchase orders moved down. Can we get?
Yeah, I move we approve the purchase orders.
Okay. Any discussion to that? Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Cloward. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, purchase orders are approved. Do you have anything for us tonight, Mr. Bake? Okay. And committee reports, we only have a week till we meet again, so unless anybody has a real good reason to stick around, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion.
I'll second that.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Bate, are we gonna get a new flag?